a dream state or something. So, you know, like when you sleep like a nightmare or a dream you don't like long enough, like you wake up. Or maybe it changes, but I'm like, in your situation, like, it can't change, or you can't wake up. So, it was like being in a dream, or it was like a vision, like real life, or whatever.
Well, I had 2 bottom teeth that were severely infected, so I thought, hey, save some money, go to the dental school in Perryville, where I thought I'd be safe instead of going to Baltimore City. And when I got there, they kind of rushed me in. I was a few minutes late. They kind of rushed me in there, had me choking on my teeth when they was pulling them out. It was a surgical removal. It wasn't a tooth pull. And I'm a diabetic, so they should have gave me antibiotics before and after the surgery, but I got no antibiotics whatsoever from them and kind of rushed out. So when I got home with my buddy Chris Griffin that took me to dental school, he was present there for the whole thing. He watched me the next 2 days throw up blood for nonstop. And I thought maybe I just had, you know, a bug or something. I was requesting NyQuil, but my neck started swelling up out to about here, and I even threw up a piece of a tooth that they left down my throat, which was crazy to me. Like, I you know, at the time, I didn't realize it or think about it, but now thinking back on it, I remember spitting the tooth out in my hand and think, oh my God, and throwing it in the toilet. So I asked my friend Chris, take me to the hospital, please. He took me to Upper Chesapeake Hospital, where I sat there for about a day or 2 with my neck swelled out to here on antibiotics, and they found out that I had 8 ounces of pus in my neck, which is more than any doctor or nurse or anybody there has ever heard of in their life. So first they tried to drain it out with a little needle, hoping that maybe they could get enough out, but that was insufficient. That wasn't gonna work. And Dr. Day, who's my surgeon, saved my life. She said, the infection's about to spread to his heart. We can't wait another day. So she had to do the surgery right away. So the last thing I remember was they put a tube up my nose to look down my throat so she could see where she was going to go in. And they, you know, they put the anesthesia on me. And that's the last thing like I really remember. And what they had to do was they had to induce a coma in order to do the open throat surgery. So they had to cut me here, which is still open, and here to get 8 ounces of pus out of my neck, and they had to drain it all out because otherwise it was going to get to my heart and kill me. So the surgery went as good as it was going to go as far as stopping it from going to my heart. But me being in the coma, and then after that, they had to put me on breathing tubes and ventilators and other tubes in my neck, and I was on about 10 IVs, and I was on feeding tubes, and I was out. I guess I was expected to wake up from the coma earlier, but I was not waking up from that coma for a week or maybe even more. It's kind of fuzzy to me still. I'm still getting all the detail. I'm still just realizing I was even in a coma. And you know, I'm alive and I'm blessed to be alive, obviously, so I made it, but that's how I got to my coma. That's it.
I bring the reaper out in day, but last night today I ain't think I'd wake up. Ain't no logic, my decisions is made from. I think you the magic my mind made up.
It's like, when I first woke up, I didn't even have no clue I was in a coma. I thought that I was just waking up from my surgery, from my neck surgery. Like, thought I was just waking up.
Did they tell you that was gonna do that, or?
No, they didn't tell me. No, the last thing I remember is I put a fresh pair of boxer shorts on, right? And they stuck a tube up my nose to look down my throat, and then they put the anesthesia on me to put me to sleep. And I remember looking up at Dr. Day, and that was the last thing I remember. And then when I woke up, I literally thought it was like an hour went by, and I woke up out of my surgery, and my daughter and my mom ended up walking in like right when I was waking up, and I went to go uncover myself, and the dude, Rizza, remember you met with the Rizza, the nurse? The dude Rizza was like, no, man, don't take your blanket off. You're going to expose yourself. You got nothing on under there. And I'm like, man, you're crazy. I just put boxer shorts on an hour ago. Dead serious. I'm like, I just put boxers. So I kept on trying to uncover myself because I was like excited. My daughter was there and everything. And he was like, man, you're going to expose yourself in front of your mom and your daughter. I'm like, what do you mean? And then he was like, look, man. And he lifted up my blanket just so I could see. And I saw I was naked under there. And I'm like, my mom said she felt so bad for me. My face was just so confused. And I was like, what the F happened to my boxer shorts? Like, that's what I said. Like, where'd my boxer shorts go? You know, so it was like.
He's worried about his underwear.
Like because I was confused. Like, I really thought I just put them on. Like, it was crazy. You know, and I woke up not even, like, I had, like, and then when like nurses and people was coming to see me, like not my friends and all, but I'm talking about like the whole like hospital staff, I guess, was like invested in me living, and they was like, man, I sat with you for a long time, and I'm sitting there thinking, what, through my hour surgery? Like I was real confused. Like, I didn't understand. Like, I didn't know I was in a coma until like almost 2 weeks after I woke up did I start to realize I was in an actual coma. So all that was just like confusing.
I actually gotta go right now, but I'm glad that you're back. We're gonna link up kind of soon.
Yeah, yo, thank you for being there, yo. I love you, yo.
Love you too, man. You good, man. We family, you already know.
Already, yo. It's kind of hard to determine what I saw with my thoughts and the things I'd imagined from when I was first waking up and in my coma, because I really can't like tell, like but I'm pretty sure the things I saw in my coma was crazy, man. Like, I remember you would think me being a guy and all you would like this, but one thing that I'm pretty sure I know I was still in my coma and I saw was like the nurses started doing like this crazy strip tease together every hour. It seemed like every hour, and like some kind of whistle blew and they stopped whatever they was doing and they all started dancing on each other. And I just remember thinking, these people are gonna kill me. Like, and I like girls, so I'm thinking like, you know, like anybody else would love that, but I'm like, man, these people are gonna kill me. Like, this is the most irresponsible hospital I've ever seen. What's going on around here? So that's something that was definitely going on in my coma. I had a whole lot of people come see me, man, from my brother Kelly Lowe to my brother Boss Money, to my baby's mom and my stepdaughter's mom. Like, my family, my father was there, my cousin Joe, my uncle Daryl, just people I never expected to be there. My mother, of course, was there. All kinds of friends was there. You know, like, I could go on and name everybody. And my boy Jay was there. And my reactions to people was, it was kind of crazy because, like, I had different reactions for everybody. Like, for example, you know, my buddy Jay, he lent me some money a while ago, and I never ended up paying him back, and we was kind of fighting over it. And I don't know why this would be in my mind. Of course, my mind was whacked out and everything. But when I heard his voice, I started writing on the wall, shoot, shoot. I guess I thought I was gonna shoot him or he was gonna shoot me for whatever crazy ass reason. You know what I mean? And then, like, I heard, you know, like my baby's mom's voice, and they said, and I never expected my daughter's mother to come see me because, I mean, since we split, she got married, and we've only dealt with things with my daughter, and like, even when I've needed her before, it's like she wasn't able to be there because she's married and everything, and it was never a thought from me that she would be there. So they said that I got the best responses out of her, like you know what I mean? Like, she would say something and I would smile and I would blink real calm and I would nod my head yes, you know, and that made me feel real good after I woke up, to know that she was there, better than anything, really. And I remember thinking, like, my thoughts in my head was, my stepdaughter's mom, she's always had a real rough time in life. And I've been getting her through this medical assistant school so she can really take care of herself and her kids. And I know, like, I've always been like a rock, and she's always, I mean, we've had rough times, but she's always really cared about me. So I'm in my head, I remember this. This is one thing I do remember from being in the coma, like while I was out. I was just wondering, did she make it through school? Because she was down to her last, it's like she was in her externship. So she was done school, but it was like if she messed up her externship, then it was all for nothing. And her grandfather died at the same time when this happened. So, like, in my head, I'm thinking, like, man, is she gonna make it? Like, I need her to make it through this. And that was a big concern in my head while I was out, and I remember that clearly. And I needed her to get through that, and she got through it. She got through it. Sent me a message saying she was the only one that knew I was gonna wake up, and she sent me a message saying, "I knew you was gonna wake up, and the last thing I wanted was for me not to do what I know you needed me to do," and that meant a lot to me. You know, just everybody being there just meant so much to me, and I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it without everybody praying for me and pulling for me, being there day and night. I mean, my friends just really proved like that they're real friends. I mean, like the ones that was in the hospital and the ones that was out the hospital, they was just all just there. You know, I could just feel them there in spirit. And I remember, like, just dreaming about my past, and it's like, it would be like normal stuff, but it was so scary. It would be like normal, you know, it would be like something I went through as a kid, and it might not even have been like, because I lived a pretty rough life, and it might not even have been something bad I went through. It might have just been a fun time, but it would be so eerie and so strange that it was just terrifying. And I was just stuck in that, and I didn't understand, like, I didn't understand I was in a coma. I didn't know I was in a coma. I guess I thought I was awake, and like when I saw the nurses dancing and everything like that. And it was weird stuff, like the nurses would walk by me, and they would be like, "Oh, smash or pass." And they'd be like, "Pass." And I don't know if that was like some insecurity, because maybe I felt like, because I've never been a drug addict, and maybe I felt like I looked like a junkie in there, and they thought I was a junkie. And I know they wasn't really, it was all in my imagination, but it was just like little weird stuff like that, you know? And then, like, as I started to wake up is when, like, I really started seeing a bunch of weird, wacky stuff more clear. But those was like my main thoughts and reactions when I was in my coma. When I woke up, man, I didn't even know I was in a coma, first of all. Like, I thought I just woke up from the surgery. So when I was like waking up and I was able to know I was up and I was talking to people, the first thing I noticed was, and I thought this was normal, the walls had sprinklers on them, and there was like little like spritzes of water that went across the walls, and then I started seeing like little tiny fairies. For real, like little tiny fairies, like running all across the walls and stuff. This is what I was seeing when I first woke up. But I thought it was some kind of normal thing that they had there. Like, I thought it was something fancy they had, like a button they pressed. I don't know what I was thinking. And then I thought everybody was trying to kill me. Well, first, the second thing I remember was I asked for my grandmother, who I knew was alive, and for some reason in my head, this older nurse, I know she didn't really say this, but in my head she told me, "Why would you ask for your grandmother? The old lady's probably dead anyway." That's what I thought this lady told me, and I zapped out. I zapped on this lady. I was cussing at her. I almost attacked her, and they was ready to put me on something called Code Purple, I think it was, where the security was gonna come strap me down and watch me 24/7. But there was a nurse practitioner there named the RZA, like Wu-Tang Clan, the RZA, and but it was R-E-Z-A. He was a Middle Eastern man, and he really got me through this mentally. And he told him, you know, let me calm him down, and I don't think the security's a good idea for his mental state or whatever. So he saved me from that, because it probably wasn't a good idea for him to bring security in there on me. And of course, I couldn't move for like 2 weeks, and I was whacked out of my mind for 2 weeks. And I'm just like continuously seeing stuff. Like, I thought my dad came there in the middle of the night drunk, and I thought he was out there slapping nurses' asses and doctors' butts and talking to them like, oh, come home with me and all that. And he wasn't even there. And I swore he was there. And while this was happening, I swore the male doctor that was there, who I thought was trying to kill me, came out with what sounded like a revolver to me. And he spun the revolver and told my dad, "You forgot about me, MFer." And like I saw, like even though I couldn't see out there, like I saw him pointed at my dad, and my dad got low. So I'm calling the nurses in there, and I'm telling the nurses, my dad's not gonna take this laying down. He's coming back for that doctor. Like, y'all gotta be careful. And I'm texting my dad in the middle of the night, like, please don't come back here, because he's got a 2-year-old daughter. And I'm like, you gotta be there for Sophia. You gotta be there for your daughter. Please don't come back here and do nothing dumb. I know that the doctor shouldn't have done that, but just, so he's like texting me, like, what are you talking about, bud? And in my head, he's right there, because I still hear his voice. Like, I hear him like beating the door. Like, I hear him coming back in, beating the door. And I'm texting him, like, you're back here. I told you they're gonna call the police. They're calling the police now, because I kept on hearing him talk about calling the police on my dad and stuff, you know? And then like stuff would happen, like the RZA, the guy that would really help me, he came in one time without his glasses, and I was convinced there was 2 of them, and he was using the same name tag, and he kept on switching up, and my dad was actually there. And I'm telling my dad, like, you really believe this is the same guy? And I was very insulting to this man. And I'm like, you believe this is the same guy? Like, he's trying to, like, these guys are gonna kill me. It's not the same guy. They're playing some kind of game. Like, they're playing with my mind. And of course, my dad knew better, and he's really trying to calm me down, but there wasn't no calming me down. And, you know, and RZA, he really was like, don't worry about it. Like, my family's apologizing to him. He was really like, don't worry about it. Me and Brent, we're gonna be friends. And we are friends. I heard the doctor talking about my dad's record and how I'm a criminal just like my dad, and how they should just let me die because all I am is a criminal. Look at my record. I've been locked up before. Let's just not worry about him and worry about real patients. Like, this is all stuff I'm hearing. And I'm trying to tell, like, the nurses and my dad and whoever will listen all this stuff. And, you know, of course, everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy. But they wouldn't tell me I'm crazy, which confused me even more. So instead of them telling me this didn't happen, I guess they was afraid of confusing me more. So they kind of like, this was like, okay. But I think maybe they all should have just told me this didn't happen and made me think about it maybe. I don't know. But that, like, it's still like in my head, like this stuff was really happening. Man, I dreamt, like I said, the dreams are still there. Every night that I've went to sleep since I've had this surgery, I've felt somebody choking my neck, like really choking my neck. Like, even as I opened my eyes and knew I was awake, I still felt someone choking my neck. Even till now. I couldn't get up and walk. I couldn't eat or drink. It was just driving me insane. It really was. And I thought everybody was against me, and I'm trying to tell my mom, and, you know, she's not doing nothing about it. I told my baby's mom, she's not doing nothing about it. I'm like, everybody's just really gonna let me die? But I'll tell you 2 people that the 2 weeks that I was really out of my mind, that was there almost every day, was Brian Wheatley, Boss Money, who's the same guy, and my father. And they was there every day, and they really kept my sanity right. They really kept my sanity right. And without them being there and just talking to me every day, I don't think I'd have came out of that insanity. I really don't think I would have. Like, they brought me back to reality. And people was just buying me gifts and just being there. So then, you know, another guy, you know, Junior was there, J-Boy. He started coming after he realized that I could be coherent and everything. He started coming back every day, and he really made me comfortable, and really showed me he was there for me, and that meant a lot, because we had a big falling out, like I said, for a while. And the solution to all this is I look at life in a whole different way, and I'm going to live my life a lot better because of this. And this had to happen to me, and God did this to me, because it repaired friendships. I was at the point where I wasn't talking to anybody in my family. My whole family was there. How can I not talk to them now? You know, my mother, I'm under my mother's home care right now. You know, she's hooking IVs to me every day. And at the same time, my little brother was also dying while I was having my surgery, and he made it too. He's got cerebral palsy. So that poor woman was going through hell. I'm just going to enjoy this time I got on earth with my kids and my loved ones and my friends that was there, you know? And not just there. I don't mean there in the hospital. I mean, everybody was there, like in spirit. Everybody was there, and I seen it all, and I got everybody's messages, and everybody that came. I know everybody that came, and we're gonna get to all y'all through this. And that's a solution, man. I'm gonna be a better man. I'm gonna be a better person, and I'm gonna live my life better and healthy.
1, 2. Check me out right here, yo. Need to turn the track up a little bit for me. All up in my ears. The mic is loud, but the music ain't loud. Yeah.
It's my mind, man. Like, I can't stop having these nightmares. I can't think right. I get frustrated with people. I've always gotten frustrated with people. I've always fought through everything my whole life, but it's a different kind of frustration. It's like super short. Like, it's not fair to people, you know? Especially when they're trying to help me and take care of me, and I just can't help it because I get so confused. And it's like one of them comic strips where you see all the shapes inside your head, inside their head, where they're like kind of like cursing or it's just like a bunch of dirt in their head. Like, that's what my head feels like when I try to figure out questions I can't answer. I forget everything short term. Like, I would never forget this mouse was right here if I had to leave with it. But I would walk out this door right now without this mouse, thinking about it 5 minutes ago. And it's just wacky to me. My biggest concerns is that people won't be there for me like I need them to be because they're so used to me being a fighter and having an attitude already, and I'm really a new man now from this. And they're not gonna be able to see it until my mind's healed because I get so frustrated and I get so crabby because my mind hurts so bad. I can't think the same anymore, and I can't use that as an excuse not to get better. I gotta make myself better, and I gotta do that within my own mind. And I just hope people bear with me and continue to be there for me like they have been. And I really need that. And that's my biggest conflict right now is just trying to get through these dreams without thinking they're real when I wake up, is to realize that people are trying to help me, even though they frustrate me, even if they're wrong about something, you know, because I really do look at life different now. And I need to keep that in my mind, how I'm really looking at life. But it's hard when I can't figure out what I'm reading or what I'm watching or what someone's trying to explain to me that's coming out as plain as day in English, you know, and I just can't catch some of it. And that's my biggest conflict. And I will get through it, and I won't enable myself not to get through it by using this coma as an excuse for anything, because I've been through it all in life, and this is just one more thing I've been through, and I will get through this.
So what were some of the main concerns and thoughts that you had while laying up in the hospital for close to a month?
I had a lot, man. Like, I remember actually being in my coma, and like I said before, I owed my one good friend the money or whatever, and I just knew in my head when I was laid there. I didn't know I was in a coma. I thought I was awake, but now that I'm realizing more and more, I'm realizing what my thoughts were. and I just knew he was coming to see me no matter what, but I didn't know if it was going to be on bad terms or good terms. So that was a big concern of mine, and of course it was on good terms. I thought a lot about my first girlfriend in 6th grade for whatever reason, Sierra. I was really concerned about my my little girl I took in, her mother. I was real concerned about her passing school without my help, because I helped her through like everything, and I was real concerned about that. And like I said, she got through that. I was concerned about my friend Chris Griffin, Kelly Lowe's father had a heart tumor and had to get surgery. And I was, after I was awake, I was praying about that. And plus Kelly concerned that I was missing that. I was a little bit concerned about my father. He was having some problems out there, and I was just worried about him getting himself into trouble. I was praying a lot. I was praying not for myself a lot at all. I was praying for other people a lot. I was worried about a lot of stuff. It was hard not to think about everybody. My brother, he was ventilated at the same time I was ventilated, so he was at risk of dying. And that was at the same time I'm like in a coma and everything. And when I woke up, I found all this out, and I was real worried about him and my mother, because I know my mother is probably going crazy, worried about both of us. I was worried about bills. What am I going to do for money when I get out? I had some money put up, so I knew like at least a month or two of my bills was covered, but what am I going to do after that? Like even right now, what am I going to do now? I mean, I still pulling tricks and scams or whatever I gotta do to make sure everything's cool, but it's like, what do I do next after the next couple dollars I get my hands on,
Exactly.
I was just worried about everybody, man. Like I'm so used to taking care of everybody, and I wasn't there to take care of nobody, but everybody took care of themselves just fine. I was worried about a lot. Like a lot was on my mind. I was worried about my daughter, my oldest daughter. I was worried about my youngest daughter, because I don't know what's going on with them. I mean, I knew they was okay, but I just didn't know what was going on with them, and that just drove me crazy. So of course I was praying for them every 5 seconds of my life while I was sitting in there. And then I was like, I didn't realize that my baby's mom, my oldest daughter's mom, I didn't realize she was there with me while I was in my coma, like every day, talking with me and everything. Like I didn't even know it. So when I woke up, I was worried about like she didn't even care that I almost died. Like that was a big concern of mine. Like, man, she probably don't even care that I'm in here whatsoever.
But she was there.
But she was there every day without not even me knowing it. You know what I mean? Like, and that
was big time.
That was big time for me.
Okay.
Super big time. Like, meant everything to me. Yeah, that was like my biggest concerns.
So kind of like concentrating on like the future, like it's like you held down.
Oh man, and then it's like, am I gonna be able to be the changed man I want to be? Am I gonna be able to come home and let go of all the anger? Because once I woke up and realized everything that happened to me, I just wanted to change. Like, I didn't want to change who I was, because I think who I am is very important. Like, I never thought there was nothing wrong with who I am, but like my living habits and my stubborn ways, I just had to let go of it all. I was just worried about, am I going to be able to come home and enjoy life, or am I going to come home and continue to fight everything and everyone as I go? Am I going to be able to just enjoy everything, or am I just going to just like kind of like just get through everything like like I've always done? It's just, I've made myself so miserable for so long, and I was just worried about, can I be happy? Can I prove to everybody that I don't gotta be some criminal or angry person all the time? Can I just like enjoy everybody, And right now, like, I'm like halfway there, but my mind's still wacky, so I get frustrated still. So it almost seems like I'm the same, but I really like do look at everything different. But I just gotta get my mind right to move forward, which the doctors keep telling me, like, there's nothing wrong with you. This is normal. It's just gonna take a while for your mind to heal everything you've been through. They said I've been through like more than most people in that situation have actually even been through. So I wasn't even expected to live, like I said. But I'm here, and those are my concerns. Now, I had many more, but I'll be sitting here for 2 hours trying to list them all, you know.
I understand that.
But